Class is in memory of Jared Orchen, and today we will learn Parshat Lecha. We will start from the beginning, and we will proceed into the topic that we want to learn about, to talk about. Page 115.
Adonai said to Avram, "Go from your land, from your birthplace, from your father's house, and go to the land that I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you will be a blessing.
Go ahead, continue.
I will bless those who bless you, and who curses you I will curse. And through you will be blessed all the families of the earth."
The Jewish people, Lech Lecha, the first Jew got an order, go. That's what the Jewish people are. They go against the stream. Mesopotamia, where Abraham was the best place, was the most civilized country. Everybody was running to Mesopotamia. God tells Abraham, go leave the place, the most civilized, established, inhabited place, and go to the beaten down place. It's called the land of Canaan. He didn't even tell him where to go, just go. And Abraham is leaving. Okay.
Question before we get there. All of a sudden, Abraham's commanded to go, and he goes. Rabbinic literature says Abraham deserved it. I mean, he did all kinds of things. He was a philosopher. He knew that God existed. I mean, the list goes on and on. The text, though, never says that Abraham earned his way. Do you know why? The discrepancy
the question is even more. Why the story about Abraham starts only from the age of 75, as you're going to learn right now? Abraham did so many good things before he was 75. The whole story of that he was thrown into the furnace was before he was 75. And many other stories. Why it's not mentioned in the Bible? That's the real question. The answer in short is, then until God told Abraham to do something, whatever he did was not necessarily a relationship with God. A relationship with God is where God is asking for me to do something and I do it for him. If I do for you something you didn't ask me for, you don't know me anything, you tell me, who asked you for it? I never wanted it. Don't do me any favors. A relationship begins when one person is asking from another person, the other person is doing for him. A mitzvah is when God tells me do this and this, and I do it. If I do for God a surprise and it's something that God doesn't want, it's not a mitzvah. There is no connection being made here. If I dial a number that you didn't give me, I will never reach you. Until the age of 75, Abraham was ready to kill himself, to die for the idea that there is a God, right? That's the story of the furnace is all about. He says there is a God. They told him there is no God. If you say there is a God, you'll be thrown to the furnace. He was ready. He was thrown. What if God, let's say he dies in the furnace, he comes to God, he says, God, look what I did for you. God tells him, who asked you for? I don't need your favors. Who asked you to run around and kill yourself for me? If a cockroach is giving you life for you, would you appreciate it? Why should God care what the human think about him? If God never asked it from him. Then the Torah starts the record from when God asked Abraham to do something for him. That's the story of Abraham. That starts a relationship. That's the journey of Abraham as a man of God. Until he did all nice things before God talked to him, it's all nice and fine. But God never asked him to do it. When God asks you to do something and you do, then there is a Abraham, there is a relationship, there is a Lech Lecha. First thing God told him, go, and Abraham did. Oh, now we're talking. That's why everything that happened before is in the Medrash, in the Talmud, all nice and fine. In the Torah, there is no record for it because it doesn't make a difference. It was not done out of request of Hashem. He was on his own.
I was thinking about what you were just talking about the Midrash and all the, what's it called, the oral, would you call it oral Torah?
Mm-hmm.
And then the Torah, the Mount Sinai,
the text.
The last time we got it, we had the both, Torah and oral Torah, right? So, and I've heard even that the oral Torah could be even, not greater, but it's subject to the Torah. So why can't it all be accepted that God accepted Abraham when he was born, that he was going to be such a...
For sure, God accepted Abraham when he was born. But the question, why is in the text not mention anything from before? Because the Torah wants to teach us something. Then anything that you did before God asked you to do is not on the same level than when it's something that God asked you to do. The real relationship between God and human is when we do what he asks from us. When you ask from your child for a cup of water and he gives you, there is a relationship. If you ask from your child to do homework and he cleaned up his room instead, you're upset. Why? Did I ask you to clean my room? I asked you to do your homework, right? Don't do me any favors. Not only is you not happy with him, not only you don't say thank you, you feel that he violated your request.
But his mother would have been happy.
I'm not so sure. Depends how he's doing in his homework. That's what it's all about. It's not that the stories did not happen. The Torah wants to teach us, give us over a very strong message. That the story of Abraham, of anybody who has a relationship with God, is when we do whatever God asks for us to do. Yeah, the point is like this. Sometimes people want to do on their own, volunteering very important things. If the things that they do is not a mitzvah, we are lucky that almost everything is a mitzvah. Whatever you do is a mitzvah. But let's say it's not a mitzvah. Then God tells you, who asked you? Lighting candles Tuesday night. You say you want to light candles in honor of God. And God looks at you and tells you, it's so nice and fine, but I never asked you to do it. Eating matzah today wouldn't be anything meaningful, you know? Very nice, it's crackers, you might be remembering the taste from Pesach, beautiful. A mitzvah, it's not. A connection you didn't make. That's really the lesson.
Sort of like the story of Cain and Abel, bringing the offerings, and Cain doesn't really bring...
That's another story, we'll get there.
Oh, sorry.
We'll get there. But it's not exactly the same. But we are going to get there. Okay, number 4. Mark?
Avram went as Hashem had told him, and Lot went with him. Avram was 75 years old when he left Haran. Avram took his wife Sarah, Lot, his brother's son, all the possessions they had acquired, and the souls, people that they had made converted in Haran, and they set out to go to the land of Canaan.
A whole parade left Haran to go to the land of Canaan. Abraham and Sarah made people, they converted people, many people joined them to believe in God. At that time, whatever wasn't conversion in our terms, but it was people who believed in God in a world of idol worshippers.
Did that include Lot as well? Or
Yeah, Lot was a nephew.
right.
Lot was a part of the deal, Lot. That's your nephew, if you like it or not. You know what I mean?
He just kind of went along.
Exactly.
Does it say anywhere, not in the Torah, but in other commentaries, when Abraham started actually going on these journeys and bringing people to
Yeah,
conversion?
he started much earlier. Sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He started earlier, but it's not recorded in the Bible because it was not an order from God.
Lot was the brother that died in the
Lot
furnace.
was the son of the brother who
Brother
died in the furnace. Yes. Number 6. Go ahead.
Avram traveled through the land until the place of Shem, until the plain of Moreh. The Canaanites were then in the land. Adonai appeared to Avram and said, "To your descendants I will give this land." There he built an altar to Hashem who had appeared to him.
Okay, Abraham built an altar to Hashem for the great news that God told them he will have children. As God told them in the beginning, I will give you a blessing and you will... What type of an altar Abraham built? He built a stone. He didn't offer sacrifices. It's not written that he offered sacrifices. He just dedicated a stone, maybe poured oil on it, and that's it. He did not offer sacrifices. The only sacrifice that Abraham offered was he actually didn't offer him. Then what he offered?
It was
the ram. That's what he offered. He didn't offer his son. Never. Okay. Number page 118. Go ahead.
From there he moved to the mountain that was east of Bethel and set up his tent. Bethel was to the west and Ai was to the east. There he built an altar to Hashem and he proclaimed the name Hashem. Abraham journeyed, traveling steadily southward. There was a famine in the land.
Okay, until now, Abraham was in the land of Canaan. God told them, Lech, Lecha, go. He came to the land of Canaan. He comes there. God told him to go there. This is the land I'll give you. I'll show you the land. He will give you children, all nice and fine. Sounds amazing, right? He comes to this land. It's a beaten down land. There is a famine in Israel, in Canaan. Then he has no choice but to move on. Go ahead.
How long is he there, just out of curiosity? We don't know.
20
Weeks?
minutes. Not long. Go ahead. Number 10.
10. There was a famine in the land. Avram went down to Egypt to live there temporarily, for the famine was severe in the land.
Okay, Abraham went to Egypt because Abraham knew that his job is to publicize the name of God. Publicizing the name of God in a country that people are hungry, you cannot talk about God. Somebody is hungry, doesn't have time for anything. Then Abraham could not fulfill his mission. That even God told Abraham to go to Israel. Abraham on his own decided that he cannot waste his time in a land that has a famine. People die. That not only he went because of himself, he went because he went to a place where he can utilize his time and his capabilities to teach people about God. He went to Egypt. Egypt was a normal country at that time.
Did he have any luck in Egypt?
Yes, some will see. Continue.
As he came near and was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, "Behold, I now realize that you are a woman of beautiful appearance. It will happen when the Egyptians see you that they will say, 'This is his wife.' They will kill me and let you live. Please say, therefore, that you are my sister, so that it will go well with me for your sake, and my life will be spared because of you."
He tells her something that, say that you are my sister. And it was not a complete lie, as we learn later. She was a sister from his father's side and not from his mother's side. And he married her. It was obviously before the Torah was given, before Mount Sinai. I can say that you are my sister, and they will not kill me. That coming to Egypt was not such an easy move, but he still did it.
I mean, that makes sense in terms of saving himself. I mean, it was a plan that worked. I mean, Nachmanides and others are pretty critical of him, though, saying, "Where's your
Very
faith?"
critical of him. I mean, faith, I wouldn't say it's not a question only where is your faith. You have to take measures. God would not appreciate if you only rely on faith, right?
Sure, you can't jump off a building and say
faith. Exactly. You have to do. God gave us brains to use to protect ourselves. Like the famous story with the guy who's standing on the tower and he doesn't want to be rescued, right? Then it's not a question of faith. The question is, so to speak, you are giving up on your wife. You're saving yourself on your account. Right? That's not right. Saying, "I'm a sister, you will be taken, and I will be saved."
It's like putting your wife in prostitution and that type of thing.
Kind of. But let's think of what would be the other option. What's the other option?
Both of them get killed.
Both of them get killed. Or Abraham gets killed, and Sarah is being left alone.
And she gets taken anyway. Yeah.
No matter what, she's alone. Now she's alone in the world. In this way, she has Abraham to save her one way or another. Then the other options were not much better.
And plus, they can work on plan B, which is what happened, right?
And to stay in Israel, they would die from hunger. That they were stuck. Going back to Iraq, to Haran, to whatever it was, Turkey, whatever it was, they wasn't. God said Lecha, right? Then too many options were not available then. And I don't know what would anybody else do instead of Abraham. Okay, let's see what happened. Go
And
ahead.
it was when Abraham was entering Egypt that the Egyptians beheld the woman because she was very beautiful. Pharaoh's officers saw her and praised her to Pharaoh. The woman was taken to Pharaoh's house.
Okay.
He treated Abraham well for her sake. He thus acquired sheep, oxen, donkeys, male and female slaves, female donkeys, and camels.
In 5 minutes, Abraham became a rich man. He said, "She's my sister." And Abraham was treated well on her account. He got, I can even call it, oxen and donkeys and males and female slaves and female donkeys and camels, everything that a person can even dream. If you brought your sister to the king and the king chose her, you're automatically a rich man.
The only problem is, if I tried that with my wife, I wouldn't be around to enjoy it.
That's why you're not Abraham. Then
Right.
Abraham took everything very happily, right? Okay. Number 17.
Hashem afflicted Pharaoh with 7 plagues, and also his household.
Severe plagues.
Severe plagues, and also his household because of Sarai, Avram's wife.
Basically, Pharaoh could not do anything that night. He couldn't go to the toilet. He was completely shut down. That was Hashem punished Pharaoh. That Pharaoh understood something is not right. Pharaoh summoned Avram and said,
And
okay,
and said,
And also his whole household. Yeah. Pharaoh summoned Avram and said, "What is this that you've done to me? Why did you not tell me that she is your wife? Why did you say she is my sister, so that I may take her to myself for a wife? Now here is your wife, take her and go."
take her and leave. Goodbye. We don't need you here. People here are terrible. They will see. They will. She's too beautiful. Think something bad will happen. Go.
Lecha got go. Right?
Then Abraham was 5 minutes in Egypt. Right? Okay.
Pharaoh assigned men to him, and they escorted him and his wife and all that was his.
They escorted him out.
To make sure he's leaving.
Somebody once told me, they didn't throw me out from Hebrew school, they just asked me to leave.
The Egyptians did that when they left.
Well, yeah,
You can
well,
see, well, you can see the parallels, obviously, to what happened when they got out of Egypt.
Yes,
They're
yes,
going out
yes.
with all kinds of wealth.
yeah, the same thing is here, you're right.
They weren't quite escorted as nicely, but
They were chased out. I think he was chased
escorted
out.
in a way. And all that was his. Abram went up from Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, together with Lot, into the south. Abram was very wealthy in livestock, silver and gold. He continued on his travels.
Okay. Abraham is living in Egypt, a rich man. He came in a poor man, he's living a rich man. He didn't give back the stuff. They gave him because Sarah is his sister, right? Yeah, Sarah is my wife. He didn't say, oh, then the deal is not a deal, take everything back. He took it very happily. I'm sure that Pharaoh didn't mind. Pharaoh felt that it's a payoff for he tried to take away his wife. He felt bad. But Abraham left loaded gold. You need to understand, before it was, it's written that they gave him donkeys and animals. Here it's written silver and gold.
Same thing from leaving Egypt later.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Now that he left Egypt, a very rich man. Now we'll go to page 124. There is Lot. We all know the story about Lot, right? Lot was Abraham's nephew. In the beginning, he used to go around with Abraham, and then his people became bad, and his workers and they were stealing in other places, and it came out a bad name on Abraham, because Abraham and Lot is his nephew, and they looked alike. That people thought that what Lot did, Abraham did. And Abraham one day told them, Reb Lloyd, it's not working. Let's separate. Wherever you go, I'll go the other side. Lot chose to go. We chose to live. Sodom. Gomorrah. Very nice place to live. Sodom was a place of bad people already then. But Lot, that was a very big, booming place. A lot of business. That's the place to go. Lot is going to live in Sodom. Abraham didn't live too far away from Sodom also either.
Because he wanted to keep an eye on him.
You're right.
Lot
Also,
was in Vegas. Lot was in Vegas.
Abraham stayed there again because that was the booming place, and Abraham felt this is the place you have to tell about people about God. The place of there is nobody to talk to. This is the place to talk to. This is the place where bad people, they think they are God, and his mission was to go and turn around the place. And then was a war between the king of Sodom, right? 4 kings and 5 kings. It was a whole war. and the war of the people against Sodom and Gomorrah, these kings won the fight, and they took all the people of Sodom as prisoners, right? Prisoners of war. Let's turn to page 134.
I thought they had the war.
Who? The people of Sodom? No. The other people won the war. Go ahead, top one page, number 11.
They took all the wealth of Sodom and
Amorah.
and all their possessions, and they went on their way. They took Lot and his wealth. Lot was Abraham's nephew. Then they went on their way. He had been living in Sodom.
The Torah says again he was living in Sodom. When Sodom is falling, he falls with them. Then the enemies of Sodom won the war, took everybody, all their possessions, prisoners of war, with the money, with everything. Number 13.
The one who had escaped came and told Avram the Ivri, who was living in the plains of Mamre and Amorite, the brother of Eshcol and Aner. They were Avram's allies.
A guy escaped. One person escaped the war and ran to Abraham, and he told them, your nephew Lot became a prisoner of war. Somebody had to tell him that. When Abraham heard,
When Avram heard that his kinsman was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, who were born in his household, 318 men, and he pursued them until Dan.
okay, Abraham had a private army, 318 men. He took his army, said, let's go. His nephew is in prison of war, we have to save him. He didn't think Lot is a great guy. Whatever the disagreement is a disagreement, but that's my nephew. Blood is blood, right? That he went to save him. Okay, continue. Number 15, page 137, number 15.
He divided his men against them at night, he and his servants, and he attacked them. He pursued them until Hova, which is to the left of Damascus. He brought back all the property, his kinsman Lot and his possessions he also brought back, as well as the women and the people.
Okay, he released not only his nephew, he was so strong, Abraham, with his army, that he won them, and he released everybody. All the people of Sodom, the women, the livestock, the money, the possession, everything. He brought them back home. Can you imagine? Everybody's coming home. Number 17.
The king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from defeating Kedar-Laomer and the kings that were with him, to the valley of Shavah, which is the king's valley. Melchizedek, king of Shalem, brought out bread and wine. He was a Kohen of the Most High Almighty. He blessed him and said, blessed be Avram.
Who is Melchizedek? According to the Talmud, it was the son of Noah, Shem. He came out and he welcomed Abraham coming from war with bread and wine. Okay.
Any reason why the significance of bread and wine here?
That was a way. Yeah, the Rashi says that was a way that he used to greet people who come from war.
Just
like,
war, or
he says Yegi Milchama,
okay.
Battle worry people. Yeah.
Because bread and wine obviously becomes a huge symbol later on.
Where?
Well, obviously for Shabbat and for,
not only for Shabbat. Rashi says that was in the temple.
Mm-hmm.
He gave him an hint that eventually his children will offer bread and wine in the temple. Okay.
A Kohen.
Yeah, Kohen, huh? Sounds good.
Lady.
There were other kinds of priests other than Aaronite priests.
The first time it's written a Kohen, yeah. He was a priest. He was a man of God. Let's put it this way. Shem is the father of the Jews, right? Father of Abraham, right? Shem was his grandson was Eber. Eber was the grandfather of Abraham. Abraham is called the Hebrew from the word Eber, right? And that's the father of Shem. We are, you know the word anti-Shemites? Anti-Semites? Anti-Shemites. Shemites on the word Shem. The Shemite nations. The people come out from Shem. Yeah? The Jewish people, the people come out from Shem.
Wouldn't that include almost all the people from Mesopotamia too? Weren't they all from Shem?
Could be. That's not. No, I mean, There is people from Yefet, there is people from Shem, there is people from Ham. You had 3 sons, right?
Yeah, Ham were the Canaanites and the Egyptians, and
And
people
the
south of
Hindus
there.
and
Right.
yeah, you're right. That's the people of Shem.
Then Japheth were the Europeans,
Yeah,
basically.
Yefet are if you want the Christians, I would say the European. Yes, the Greeks, the Romans. The Romans are the Yefets. Yes. If you see before you read the name of sons of Yefet, I think there is Rome also, something like this. There is one of the names that refers to the Romans. In any case, he blessed them, number 19. He blessed them and said,
He blessed them and said, Blessed be Avram to the Most High Almighty, possessor of heaven and earth, and blessed be the Most High Almighty, who has delivered your enemies into your hand. Avram gave him a tenth of everything.
he gave to whom? To Melchizedek, to the king of Shem. Melchizedek was the king of Jerusalem, as the Medrash says. Okay, that was the meeting with Melchizedek. After he finished with Melchizedek,
Is Melchizedek a monotheist, or are we to understand
Yes,
based
yes.
upon the Most High Almighty references?
he says the possessor of heaven and earth.
The Kohen, yeah.
And he's giving the 10th because
Like the concept of Misa.
Well, that's Abraham.
Because he's a Kohen, and to a Kohen you give Misa.
Oh,
The idea was there, not. It's all, as we're going to see, everything is set in motion in the beginning. Think about the Shabbos. There is a few things in Parshas Noach. We see how it's things that later were done, and then the same thing in the story of Abraham. Things Lot ate baked matzah and he fed the angels. Later we see there is matzah. Here's the same thing. A Kohen gives maaser, he gives them tithe. Everything that later became law started already. The process started much earlier.
Why do we see that kind of foreshadowing in that sense? Is it predictive, or is it, how would you...
Predictive, no, when you look back, you see how God already set in motion everything. Did the people who did it understood exactly why? Not necessarily. But
they just felt the instinct to do it.
exactly. But God, it's like you see somebody is doing for you things, and only later you understand you already set it in motion. Somebody tells you a story. In the beginning you don't understand, but then by the end of the story you realize why he throw in this certain concept that you, by the end you understand what happened. Or if somebody teaches you a language, he puts in words that in the beginning don't make sense and you didn't even pay attention to them, only in the end the whole picture comes together. God put into humanity the concept of Judaism step by step, where later it became, later they look back and say, oh, that's why this happened, oh, that's why this happened. Now everything makes sense.
You said before that they already knew the Torah, some of the patriarchs.
What does this mean, know the Torah? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Lot ate matzahs, and Abraham gave tithe. And Noah knew which animals are kosher, which animals are not kosher. And Metushelach HaTzadik, before the flood, they were waiting for 7 days because the concept of, he died, the concept of Shiva. And there is many examples for this. Throughout this thing, that it shows you, and Abraham davened, right? He established the morning prayer, and then Jacob did other things. All fall into motion, and then there was the Brit Milah, that's clear. It's not like the Jewish people were standing at Mount Sinai and said, really? Whoa! We never heard about it. They heard about it. It was, yeah.
Just like Sarah does the candles.
Very good. Everything started earlier, little by little. That when the Jews came to Mount Sinai, they already knew what's going on. Just like they didn't say really about don't kill and don't steal. So really, whoa, we never heard this. So too, they didn't say about anything really, almost anything. For sure, there were people who knew more, people who knew less, people who never heard, but the concept was already there.
Is there a reason why the concept had to pre-exist? I mean, is it
That's
necessary?
the way God like prepared the world to the real thing, and he started from the beginning. Really, from Adam and Eve. I mean, according to the Medrash, Adam and Eve made Kiddush Friday afternoon. That's what the tree of knowledge was a wine, grapes, and Chava took the grapes and squeezed them to give him for Kiddush, and that's what he made Kiddush. What I mean to say is, it's all going inside.
Like creation.
That's what I'm saying. It's all coming, that when it comes to the culmination of Mount Sinai, we have already a full picture. That's what we mean that Abraham already knew the laws. He understood from God, if this he likes and this he doesn't like, that's the right thing to do. People who love God figure out what God wants from them. Like in a love relationship, you figure out what the other person wants. The same thing is here. Okay. Now comes number 21.
21. The king of Sodom said to Avram, "Give me the people and take the possessions for yourself."
King of Sodom met Abraham. He tells me, give me the people. All the possession that you brought from the war is yours. Avram said to the
king of Sodom, "I have lifted my hand to Adonai, the Most High Almighty, possessor of heaven and earth. Neither a thread nor a shoelace will I take anything of yours. So you will be not able to say, I have made Avram wealthy."
I don't want to take anything from you. Don't do me any favors. In Egypt he took, right?
Mhm.
Very nicely. Gold, silver, flour, camels, anything, whatever you give. Slaves, male slaves, favors, everything. Here, no, I'm not taking anything. Don't say you made Abraham rich. Sometimes it takes, sometimes it doesn't take. Now we'll skip. We'll skip to Parshat Vayera. Abraham, a similar story with Abraham, just like he went to Egypt, he went to Gerar, right? It's on page 208, 209 actually, chapter 20 in the book of Bereshit. Supposed to you go ahead.
Abraham journeyed from there to the land of the Negev, and he lived between Kadesh and Shur. He lived for a while in Gerar.
In Gerar. Where is Gerar?
Where the Palestinians are right now, right?
In Beersheba, no?
Well, Beersheba's in the south, but Gerar wasn't where the Philistines were, so it would be on the coast.
Where is it? Where? In Gaza?
In Gaza, I would assume.
Could be. I don't know where Gerar exactly is, but he was in Gerar. But somewhere around there. Okay, Avram said,
regarding Sarah, his wife, she is my sister.
This time, Avram didn't tell Sarah, say the time you'll see. Sarah didn't want to do it, but Abraham anyway said it.
Avimelech, king of Gerar, sent messengers and took Sarah.
The same story. Okay.
Avimelech called Abraham and said to him,
Elohim came to Avimelech, the top of the page 210.
Oh, wrong one. Elohim came to Avimelech in a dream at night and said to him, "Behold, you shall die because of the woman you took, for she is a married woman." Avimelech had not come near to her. He said, "My master, will you also kill an innocent nation? Did he not say to me, she is my sister? And she also said, he is my brother. With an innocent heart and clean hands I did this." Elohim said to him in a dream, "I also know that you did this with an innocent heart. I also prevented you from sinning against me. That is why I did not give you the chance to touch her."
Okay, Hashem tells him, I know you didn't have any bad intention. It's how the God tell them, it's not so clean that it wasn't so clean, you're not so holy, mister. But we cannot blame you. That's why I tried to save you.
Why does it say
now
Elohim? Is it a difference?
We'll not get into this issue. I hear what you say, we'll not get into it. Now, Mark, you want to continue?
Now returning the man's wife, for he is a prophet. He will pray for you, and he will live.
By the way, there is something amazing here. God teaches a person to go to a prophet, that the prophet should pray for him. What God needs Abraham to pray for him? Return the woman and finish. God tells Avimelech, go to Abraham and ask Abraham to pray for you. From this we learn inside the Bible there is a clear message that you go to a tzaddik to pray for you. God tells them to do it. Not other people. God tell them, return Sarah and ask from Abraham to pray for you, because he's a prophet. And people say, oh, well, why you have to go to a tzaddik? I can pray myself to God. Obviously, you can't. With all due respect, it's not exactly. If Abraham prays for Avimelech is one thing, God spoke to Avimelech, right? Avimelech he got a revelation here, no matter how you slice it, it was a dream, but God spoke to him. It's written in the text.
I think it's fair to state, though, that you don't have to pray through a tzaddik, but it might be a little better for you if you do.
Yeah, better connections.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're a guy like this king who's not on very good ground.
What I mean to say is God established the concept that we go to a tzaddik to pray for us.
Is the metaphor of kind of dialing through an operator a good one or not a good one?
It's the metaphor is like you have a lobbyist. How much people pay for lobbyists? A lot of money. If you need to pull something through, it's somebody who has connections. The tzaddik davens, God listens. It's a guy who has good connections. Simple.
Why does it seem that a lot of these situations, the other party, like the Egyptians, they end up recognizing and saying God?
That was the whole purpose.
Just like that.
That was the whole thing. Why God made the whole thing. They should recognize that there is a God. Okay, he told them, let them pray for you. I'm sorry, I interrupted you in the middle.
If you do not return her, you should know that you will surely die, you and all that is yours. Avimelech got up early in the morning, and he called all his servants. He spoke all these words in their ears, and the men were very frightened.
Okay, page 212. Mr. Dr. Kossel, would you mind to read?
Avimelech called Abraham and said to him, "What have you done to us? What wrong did I do to you that you brought on me and upon my kingdom such a great sin? Deeds that ought not to be done you have done to me." Abimelech then said to Abraham, "What did you see that you did such a thing?" Abraham said, "Because I thought, there is no fear of Elohim in this place, and they will kill me in order to take my wife." Keep going.
Okay, let your wife keep going.
In any case, she is my sister, the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. When Hashem caused me to wander from my father's house, I said to her, "This is the kindness you shall do for me. At every place we come to, say of me, he is my brother." Why did he give him all this? Why did he tell him all this?
He had to tell him why you lied. He says, it's not a lie. She's my sister. I didn't lie. She's my wife, but she's my sister too. Avimelech
Took sheep, cattle, male and female slaves, and he gave them to Abraham. He also returned his wife Sarah to him.
he gave him sheep and slaves, and male and female slave, and he gave them to Abraham. Continue, number 15. Avimelech said,
"Behold, my land is before you. Live wherever you see fit." To Sarah he said, "Behold, I have given to your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. It will be for you a compensational eye covering for all who are with you, that you may face..."
Okay, basically to cover up your embarrassment, people say, "Oh, look, I violated you. I tell you here, look how much I gave him." Then the Torah tells us that Abraham he gave camels and slaves and female slaves, and then he told Sarah that he gave her brother 1,000 silver pieces. Money and animals and people and everything. Just like the story in Egypt. Abraham didn't say, "Oh, I will not take from you one shoelace, I will not take from you." Very nicely, he took. He took and he became even richer. Right?
If we had done this with the Saudi Arabian king, we could have gotten some oil wells.
You're right, I know. Maybe Abraham had oil.
Why did they change the names already to Abraham and Sarah? Is that they already did it?
That's already did it, yeah, we skipped, you forgot.
Oh, it's scary.
I skipped, my friend. That in this story, that we had so far 3 stories. The first story in Egypt, Abraham was very happy to accept gifts. The second story from the people, from the king of Sodom, he says, "I will not touch anything from you. You shouldn't say you made me rich." The third story with the people, with Avimelech, the king of Gerar, Abraham is taking, "Hey, no problem. Come on, bring it. We still have place. Bring it, no problem. We'll check this out. We'll tell you if it's good or not." Now we'll skip again. We'll skip to the beginning of Parshas Chaisora. Page 241. Who's supposed to read?
Oh.
Mr. Cohen?
The lifetime of Sarah consisted of 100 years, 20 years, and 7 years. These were the years of Sarah's life. Sarah died in Kiriath Arba, which is in Hebron, in the land of Canaan. Abraham came to eulogize Sarah and
to weep
for her.
Hey, Sarah died. Nebuch. Everybody lived. She lived only 127 years. A short life in that time. But she passed away. Now Abraham came to eulogize her and to cry for her. Page 242. Continues.
Abraham rose from the presence of his dead and spoke to the son of Chel, saying, I am a foreigner and a resident among you. Grant me the possession of a gravesite with you, so that I might bury my dead from my presence.
Abraham needed a place to bury Sarah. He's asking from the people of Chet, give me a piece of land, a place to bury my wife, his wife. Go ahead, continue.
The sons of Ches replied to Abraham, saying to him, Hear us, my master, you are a prince of God in our midst. Bury your dead in the choicest of our grave sites. No man among us will deny his grave site from you. Abraham,
to bury
your dead.
Okay, they told him, be our guest. Go ahead, bury your dead anywhere you want. Continue.
Abraham rose. Go.
Okay.
Abraham rose and bowed to the people of the land, the sons of Chet. Abraham spoke to them, saying, If it is really your will that I bury my dead from my presence, listen to me and intercede for me with Ephron, son of Zohar. Let him give me the Machpelah, the double cave which belongs to him, which is at the end of his field. Let him give me, or sell to me.
Let him sell it to me
for its full value.
For the full value.
As a gravesite among you.
Abraham insists that he wants to pay for the gravesite. He doesn't want a present. He wants to pay for the gravesite. Ephron told him, bury wherever you want, mister. Be our honor. You're such an important person, such a rich person. It's an honor for us. It was an honor for them that Abraham should bury his dead in the cemetery. Ephron. Go ahead. Ephron
lived in the midst of the sons of Het. Ephron the Hittite replied to Abraham and the ears or audience of the sons of Het, for all who came to their city gate, saying, No, my master, hear me. I have given you the field and the cave that is in it. I have also given to you. Before the eyes of the sons of my people, I have given it to you. Bury your dead.
Take it! Take it! In front of everybody, I'm giving you a present. Take the place, bury your dead, and be happy. If you can be happy. Abraham didn't insist it. No. Number 12, Abraham bowed down.
Abraham bowed to the people of the land. He spoke to Ephron in the ears audience of the people of the land, saying, If you will only listen to me, I've given the money for the field. Take it from me, and I will bury my dead there. Ephron replied to Abraham, saying to him, My master, hear me. A land worth 400 silver shekels. What is it between you and me? Between me and you? Bury your dead. Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out for Ephron the silver they had spoken of in hearing of the sons of Ches, 400 silver shekels, negotiable currency. The field of...
Okay. Abraham paid Ephron top dollars, 400 shekels. Then we see a fourth story about Abraham's life. In two stories, he was very happy to take presents. In the other two, he insisted not to take presents. In one place, he just didn't take a present. The other time, he paid, right? He mentioned on Shabbos, there is a verse from King Solomon. There is a story about the Rebbe. Once the Rebbe used to drive a car, the Rebbe the driver in a car. And it was it was when the story took place in 1986. The Rebbe had a car from 1973, a Cadillac, and from 1973 to 1986, the car is fixed it again and again and again. And as many times that the secretaries told the Rebbe, we need to buy a new car, the Rebbe said, no need for a new car. And once they decided they will put the Rebbe on the spot, they will just bring the car and finish. One day we come from the yeshiva, we see in front of 770 Eastern Parkway a beautiful Cadillac, long Cadillac is parking there. The excitement was in heaven. Maybe 200 boys were around, dancing and singing. It was Freilach. I mean, the Rebbe is getting a new car. The Rebbe walked out. He was on the way to his father's cemetery, the gravesite. He used to take a big bag with letters to read there. He walks out and he gives the children, he gave them coins. Comes to the car. He's asking, where is the old car? No, he asked, is this the old car? Then the secretary told them that this is a new car that was given by this and this person. And the Rebbe said, tell them thank you. And then the Rebbe quoted from the book of Proverbs. King Solomon says, Soneh matanot ichyeh. Somebody who despises presents will live long. He said, bring back the old car. They knew that the Rebbe could ask for such a thing. The old car was parking right there. They moved everything quick to the old car. They moved the old car. Took a few minutes, this thing. The Rebbe took the old car. And later the Rebbe said, a few months later, the Rebbe spoke about it. The Rebbe says, I don't need a new car. The old car is very good for me. But the Rebbe quoted something from King Solomon. Somebody who hates presents should live long. What does this mean? That according to King Solomon, we should not take presents and not give presents? What kind of a world is going to be who doesn't take presents and doesn't give presents? What's going to be there? And more than that, there is a mitzvah in the Torah that is about presents. We give Shalach Mones and Purim. Shalach Mones is presents. I give you present and you give me a present. Then the Torah is violating the rabbis who made the laws of Shalach Mones are violating. Well, it didn't hold with the opinion that's in the book of Proverbs of Soneh matanot ichyeh, or they don't want us to live long. What is this? Obviously, must be some fine line when you take presents and when you don't take presents. Where we should do it and where we should not do it. The answer is, and we see by Abraham 4 stories. Sometimes he's very excited to take presents. He doesn't give back the present to the king of Egypt and tell him, I'm sorry, it was a mistake. You thought that's my sister, that you gave him the present. Now that the deal is not that, he took the present and left. And became a very rich man. In other times, he insists not to take presents. The answer is with the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. He says there a line, do not say, I don't want you should be able to say, I made Abraham rich. It means to say, when certain people, there is 2 types of present givers. There is usually a person gives a present. He's happy for you. Because I love this person. I give him a present. And I'm happy that he enjoys it. There are other people who give presents to own you. To control you. It's a person that has a lot of strings attached. In such cases you say, Moichel Toives, I don't need a present. No, the guy who gives you a present and then 2 weeks later asks you, how is the present? 2 months later, how is the present? 2 years later, how is the present? 1 year later, how is the present?
Sounds
Oh
political.
my God!
There's a little
You tell me, you
campaign.
exactly. Then you think to yourself in your heart and your mind. You think to yourself, you know what? Please take your present. I'll pay you. Just leave me alone. You avoid to meet them at the events. If you know that this guy shows up at the event, you say, no, I'm too busy today. You don't want to deal with it again. How's my present? How is the big shaped bottle or jar that I bought for you and it's so special? Or even worse, some people give you a present, you should owe them. They own you with a present. You don't want it. Such present you don't want. Abraham knew that Ephron and the people of Heth, if they will let him bury, they will hold him like this later. Because he cannot pick up his dead and walk away, right? The king of Sodom obviously was not a nice guy. If all of people of Sodom, there was the king, you can imagine who it was. God, Abraham says, Shkoyach, thank you very much, but no, thank you. I don't need presents from you. But other people who felt that their presence was an atonement, like the king of Egypt, like the king of Gerar, Avimelech, from them he took presents. And that brings us to Bereshit. We didn't miss Bereshit completely. We will learn a little bit about Bereshit. The second story in Bereshit is on page 42 actually. Cain and Abel, right? Cain killed Abel. Oy. Why Cain killed Abel? Who's supposed to read? I forgot already who is reading.
Okay.
You? Then go ahead. Number 3. 42, number 3.
In the course of time, Cain brought some fruit of the soil as an offering to Adonai. Hevel also brought from the firstborn of his flock, from the best thereof. Hashem paid regard to Hevel and to his offering, but to Cain and his offering he paid no regard. Cain became very angry.
Okay, let's stop right here. What happened there? Cain came up with an idea to bring an offering to God. Cain came up with this idea, right? Abel followed suit. Learned from himself, that's a great idea. He also brought. God accepted Abel's offering and not Cain. Why not?
Abel gave of his best.
It's not written anything that Cain didn't give the best. Rashi says from the worst. In the text it's not written. You know what? Who was the pioneer? Who paved the way? Who came up with the idea? Cain, right? That Cain's offering is not accepted. Abel's offering was the follower, the Nochschlepper. His offering is accepted. Why God didn't accept Cain's offering? And if it's not the best, still offering. What's wrong with it?
Oh,
Has to do with the present, probably.
The answer is no. The answer is right here. What was Cain's reaction when his present was not accepted?
he was angry.
He was angry, and what else?
Depressed.
And depressed. Angry and depressed. Normally, a person who brings an offering to God, if God doesn't accept it, he's not angry. What would he be? Heartbroken, right?
Humbled.
Humbled. That's the name of it, basically. Angry. But where comes the anger?
It was a brother.
Because you think anger comes from trying to control something you think you have.
Anger is, I give you a present and you dare not taking it from me.
Arrogance.
Wow.
What a chutzpah! You cannot, for example, there were stories in the Bible and in Jewish history, then they accepted presents from non-Jewish kings and enemies of the Jews because they didn't want to anger them. They knew that they will refuse the present, they will get in trouble. If you accept a present because you're afraid you'll get in trouble, something is wrong with the present. It means you don't want it, you only take it because... Why you don't want the present? Because you know the guy will control you. Why are you taking it? Because you're afraid of him. We wouldn't know that from the reaction of Cain we know that his intention by the present were not good ones. God knew it. God knows the heart of human. Therefore God didn't want to take it. Abel brought out of thanks to God. He brought a present. Thank you, God, for everything that you gave me. God took it, accepted it. Cain wanted to say, God, I'm bringing you a present. Me, Reb Cain, bringing you a present. And tomorrow say, Cain, God, no, you owe me one. That's the problem. For the same reason that Abraham, this is the presents you don't want to accept. Some presents prolong your life, and others shorten your life. A person who hates presents will live long. Talks about presents, that you will never hear the end of it. Then such present you don't want to take. Cain is depressed, is angry. Really? You should say, you should go and down Hashem. Why you didn't accept my present? Maybe I have to do tshuva. Why? Is God working for you? What are you getting angry? And this is a lesson to us. Then when we do anything for God, we have to feel honored that God gave us the opportunity to do it for Him. Not to be angry and say, God, I did this and this for you and you didn't give me back yet.
I like that quote from the Ethics that, everything I give to you was from you. I'm giving back to you.
It's also from the Bible, really. Yeah. Everything that I give to you is from you. From where Cain had something to give God? From God, right? But the reaction is angry. Such a person who is angry, if you don't take the present, you don't want to take a present. Because he's here to control you, not to give you. That explains the Cain and Abel story. Why God accepted Cain and not Abel. That was special for you. You shouldn't say you don't know the Parshas Parshas. And that's the story with Abraham. Which presents you take and which presents you don't take.